Well, we are now ready to work on the chopper here, and we'll kind of show you what we're dealing with here. So I ended up plugging the pipe here, actually twice yesterday. I plugged it once in the middle of the day, and I said, well, you know what? These blower paddles are getting wore. Then I ended up plugging this here last night, and I took this cover off the back of the blower here. I gotta get a flashlight going to show you what we've got, and it was so gosh darn packed in here that it was like a rock. So I dug it all out, and as I was reaching up into the spout, I could see, or I could feel some metal up in the top of the spout, or in the top of the transition chute. And if you look, it's all wore away from this left-hand side. This right-hand side is not really any better. I don't know why I didn't feel that yesterday, but at any rate, it is what it is. So there's 4 pieces in here. We're gonna go ahead and replace those. And we're also going to throw a new set of paddles in this, along with taking this panel out. So we've got about, I don't know, $1,100 or so of parts that we're going to put into this here today. Here are the skins that go in that transition chute, the pieces that are wore out. And then this panel here is the blower panel itself. That rectangular panel is that one right there. Now, we replaced the one below it last week, and I've got a pile of paddles over here too. So we're gonna go ahead and get everything tore apart, and then we'll show you what this looks like once we get a little more of it taken apart here. Alright, so what we're doing is we're taking this blower panel here out now. So that is worn. This one is real heavy. I thought it would last longer than it did. However, that is just not the case. It is done for out. So what I'm doing is I am using the kernel processor winch to actually pull this guy out of here. The new one, the new piece is different. The new piece has it's a metal frame, but it has a liner that you unbolt off of it, and you unbolt the liner off it and you just bolt a new one on. This one here is all one piece. I thought it was going to be a lot heavier duty. In other words, it's going to last longer. That is just not the case here. So I'll get this pulled out of the way here and set over where you guys are. We'll pull all of these paddles off, and then we'll start taking these liner pieces out, which are going to go in and out easier with all this stuff off of there. It probably really doesn't need paddles now, but I was going to have all this stuff off anyway, so I said, you know what, to make things work a lot easier, we might as well do the paddles now as well. So let me get climbed up out of here. myself in a position where I really don't climb too well. Alright, we've got that panel removed, and just take note of what these blower paddles look like. Got an excessive amount of wear right here, and then that's going to correlate with that much wear on the blower panel itself. You could almost get your finger in there. So all of these are worn. Now you could say, well, you just adjust them. You can't adjust them. This is almost tight here, and it's wore right there. The only real way to get another use out of these, but I think they're adjusted all the way out anyways, is to grind this off flat. This is the hardened face here, and slot the hole to be able to get more use out of them. So we'll go ahead and remove all of these, and then we can dive up into these wear plates that are in this transition chute here. Okay, so I've got everything removed. I've got the liners removed out of the transition chute. I've got all the paddles removed, and this is what these panels look like here. So this is the left side, the right side, and this is how this panel was in there. You've got the yellow pipe is above that. That starts about here, and this was folded right up into the chute. This should be right down, all the way down into here. So that's all wore off on that side. This one here is, of course, paper thin as well. And then the back ones weren't all that bad. I've replaced the back ones before, but I don't recall if I've ever replaced the front ones before. Jake says that I did back in 01 or 21. So these are the new ones, and we'll go ahead and get them in there. I'm gonna scrape this down a little bit on the inside, and I've got a wiper plate here I've got to clean up, and then we'll start reassembling everything here. Well, we've got everything all back together. Well, not quite. We've got all of our parts replaced that we need done here. We've got our paddles on, got our 4 liners in the transition chute. Now we're going to put the blower panel on and adjust the blower paddles to the blower panel. Nate has it set in here somewhere, I don't know where, but here is the old blower panel, and if you look right here, this is where it's wore. You can see these wavy parts, and here is a blower paddle. So here is left, here is the left side here, and look at the gap. I've got it touching in the center. It's going to touch there, and it's going to be raised way above this side here. Here's the right side, same thing. So we've got some material that can slip by there. So we're going to go ahead and put our new panel in. When I put this in last winter, I thought this was the heavy duty one. It's one piece, but yeah. So let's go ahead and grab the panel, put that in, and then we'll adjust the paddles to the panel. Okay, so we have this all buttoned back up. We've got a little bit more stuff to put back on here, but what we're going to do now is we're going to get the knives sharpening, And then we're going to continue to clean up our mess here, and then we are going to roll on out of here. Well, we have a little mishap that we didn't get on camera here. I had my shirt setting up in there, and the rotary screen sucked it in. It took it right into the fan and wadded it up. Brand new shirt. So what did you say? We got a thought of the day out of you.
Oh yeah, we should start our own.
Yeah, there you go. Alright, let's clean this stuff up here. Well, we are now back up in the field that we were in last night. I originally wanted to finish this field last night. However, we plugged. We plugged bad. Therefore, it did not allow us to be able to finish this. Now, what this is a grass seeding. And we seeded this way because it is a wetter farm. The land ain't all that great for growing hay, for growing alfalfa, that is. Therefore, we have this mix of grass in here. So we'll go ahead and fire up here. I guess you can kind of say that I lost my shirt on this job. So what I did was I ended up starting the cutter head up because I wanted to make sure that the machine wasn't going to work too hard trying to sharpen the knife, so I wanted to run everything forward before I ended up, well, there's the first bit of it going through the pipe. It's a little bit of a cleaner blow, if you will. The material is following the pipe tightly. The one side of that blower liner, with the way it was, it was dropping a little bit of clumps down every so often. Mike actually noticed it, but I kind of thought it was from that old section of the pipe. I thought maybe that wasn't quite matched up right. I didn't know if maybe the liner on the pipe was bothering. So this is right where we plugged last night. There's a little pile of stuff on the ground there. That's everything that we dug out of the pipe on the chopper here. So as you can see, this has got like a clover. This is a clover mix, more or less. And we had originally figured on just running this, running the baler over this, but we just decided to cut it and chop it. But yeah, everything is blowing tight to the pipe there. It's a different machine altogether. So this machine is actually all brand new. New knife drum, new spiral band, new blower paddles, new chute liner, and then that other panel that we put in. So yeah, now you might be asking, gee Andy, why didn't they fix it? Why didn't they replace that liner when it was over in their shop? Well, kind of hard to tell that liner is worn unless you take it out. And plus, it wasn't on. It also wasn't on the work order. In other words, I didn't say anything to them about replacing blower paddles or anything, or checking the liner, because we had already did that over the winter. So we'll just keep on keeping on here. She really blows now. If you recall in the last video, which I'll show you some clips from that when I was loading Andrew, you can kind of see some stuff dropping out of the pipe. Sometimes when you see that, it's a buildup of gummy material in the pipe, but there really wasn't anything in there. So we'll join up with you in a little while here once we get back into some alfalfa, and we'll see how it blows doing that. So this should about wrap it up for this video here. This is the last little bit of hay that we're going to chop for tonight. This field here, this seeding is roughly 2 years old. And it's the second year that we've chopped alfalfa here. It was cut 2 days ago, and the moisture's running right in the high 50s. If we were to schedule a breakdown, today was probably the best day to have had to deal with the problems that we had to deal with, that we dealt with this morning, rather. We had a fair amount of cloud cover here yesterday, and being that we got off to a late start, it didn't hurt us too much because the sun didn't have a chance to work at you know, wilting this alfalfa down. So we've got Jared just about loaded. I've got Mike and Tim on deck, and that's gonna clean it up, clean this field up. So as you can see, everything's blowing through the pipe rather nicely. And yeah, we will keep on keeping on here. So I want to thank everybody for watching, and we will catch you at the next video.